Hello everyone, and welcome to the reading of Digimon Liberator DEBUG8-2 Part 2. This is the last part in this batch of debug chapters. They all came out in late February, so I would assume the next batch to be out in around late May, because they seem to be every 3 months. So I guess my recordings will be throughout June and July, I'm thinking, just as a heads up, I guess. Anyway, so similar to the previous readings, I am not a professional voice actor, and I'm just one person doing their best. So if the voices change episode to episode, I'm just doing the best that I can. I recommend still heading over to the official release on DigimonCard.com if this is your primary way of consuming the Liberator web novel. Partially so Bandai still gets the site visits, but also because each chapter, like Digimon Seekers, has art. Liberator also has actual visuals of any new card that's mentioned, and as far as I'm aware, this part is quite heavy in those, so definitely check those out if you want to see those cards that show up in this chapter. While the mechanics are included in the reading, if you want to see the card itself, head over to the official novel release on DigimonCard.com. And with all that out of the way, let's continue on to Digimon Liberator Debug, Chapter 8, Part 2. Debug, Chapter 8, Part 2. A crash of thunder reverberates through the sanctuary. The Steel Dragon Heavy Metal Dramon releases a purple thunderbolt, shattering Huckmon's security and sending shards dancing. Yuki appears to have the advantage. Heavy Metal Dramon, Loudmon, and 2 of her tamer cards are in the battle area. Purple Scramble, which was used to digivolve Heavy Metal Dramon, also remains in the battle area and is awaiting its next activation. And, with 4 security left to boot, it's a very strong position. In Huckmon's battle area, there's only a single Saviour Huckmon. Unfazed, despite having only 2 remaining security, it stares at the enemy line, unblinking. Tsk! What's it gonna take to rattle this guy? Hey Yuki, are you sure this is the right play? I don't know. Hey, I mean, how could I? We're being tested. If we hesitate, worrying about what's right or wrong, then we'll fail for sure. Also, Yuki takes a deep breath and looks directly at Saviour Huckmon. I want to be friends with Huckmon and the others, so I have to battle in a way that'll make them want to be my friend. Yuki, I'm good, Impmon. She subdues the coward in her heart with those words. It's a real battle, but it's not her first. Just as she's done before, she'll hit them full throttle. And, in the end, they'll become friends. Yeah, I can do that. We will win. You have the spirit of the warrior at least. Saviour Huckmon murmurs a bit of admiration at Yuki's attitude, but then immediately assumes a menacing aura. Well then, I'm going on the offensive. Try to withstand our power. Saviour Huckmon moved into the battle area. Digimon Liberator Side Story, Debug, Chapter 8, Part 2. Through the Fire and Metal. I play the option card Oz Generics. I get plus 2000 DP and gain piercing. Saviour Huckmon bursts into action, making the battle NPC use the option card, and then, once again, roaring to the sky. And now, Master, lend me your strength! As if answering the call, something comes falling from the sky, generating a massive crater in the ground. The force of the wandering Holy Knight Gankumon was like that of a meteorite. It rises from the centre with its arms crossed in an imposing stance, cloaked in the aura of Hinakamui. On play, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a level 6 or lower Digimon card with Huckmon in its name, or the Royal Knight trait in the hand or trash without paying the cost. Gankumon pierces the earth with its fist. The program inscribed in its history awakens it, and on its chest emerges the mark created by Digimon for survival, an X. Let's do this, Gankumon X antibody! When digivolving, de-digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if Gankumon or X antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, until the end of your opponent's turn, none of your Digimon are affected by opponent's Digimon's effects. Your Heavy Metal Dramon de-digivolves into Punkmon. Furthermore, with my Master's power, both of us gain invulnerability to Digimon effects until the end of your next turn. This guy's got plays for days. Just as Yuki was considering whether Rutaro might be as muscular as Gankumon, the onslaught of effects made her break out in a cold sweat. It's too early to feel overwhelmed. I, Saviour Hakumon, use my end-of-turn effect. I suspend Gankumon X antibody and digivolve. Light envelopes the white dragon as it fist bumps its esteemed master and takes up the torch, ascending into the ultimate holy knight, Jesmon. Come forth, Atho, Renee, Paw! With its on-play effect, Jesmon summons Atho, Renee, and Paw, then proceeds towards Loudmon. Your turn, once per turn. When any of your other Digimon are played, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less. Then, one of your Digimon may attack. The effect deletes Loudmon. No way, you're attacking now? Didn't you say it was the end of your turn a minute ago? Disregarding Yuki, Jesmon attacks Punkmon. With its alliance effect, it suspends Atho, Renee, and Paw to gain 8000 DP, plus 2000 through the inherited effects, as well as another plus 2000 DP and piercing from the Oz generics played earlier. Jesmon with 24,000 DP deletes Punkmon. I check 2 security cards with piercing. Turning to her shattered security, Yuki gasps. She had no intention of letting her guard down. However, the advantage she was relying on was overturned in just one turn. With Gankumon X Antibody's effect, my Systemon, Huckmon, and Royal Knights gain Reboot and Blocker. This won't be an easy wall to break through, but I expect that you won't be cowed so easily. Of course not, Itmon boldly declares, before whispering to Yuki via the D-storage. Yuki, we're good, right? It'll be fine. Maybe. Come on, we've got to do this. I know, my turn. I activate Purple Scramble. She uses its effect to play Itmon from the trash. And with her Tamer's card's effect, she gains +1 memory. And now her deck is ready to display what it's capable of. Itmon, Digivolve to Punkmon, then into Loudmon, and all in one go to Heavy Metal Dramon. Her hand shines and the menacing steel dragon descends upon the battle area once again. That's not all. Even if Digimon effects won't work against you, I have an option card. Black Sabbath, Devour! Decoy activates. Atho, Renee, Paw, I need you. The trio of fiery entities shield Jesmon from the sonic scream. Is that all, pitiful human? As if! Heavy Metal Dramon's end-of-turn effect. Huckmon, I hope you don't mind me using that card that you gave me. Heavy Metal Dramon's effect calls forth a card with the Evil Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait, and a play cost of 8 or less from the trash. Responding to the Draconic Bellow, another Evil Dragon emerges from the abyss. Here's the new jewel in my crown, Heavy Metal Dramon Ace! Heavy Metal Dramon Ace's on-play effect activates. By trashing cards in the hand until there are 4 left, it revives a Digimon with 8000 or less from the trash without paying the cost. Come, Orochimon! Additionally, at the end of my turn, I use my Taino card's effect. I attack the play with Heavy Metal Dramon. And with the power of Raid, I'll attack that old man. The Raid effect changes Heavy Metal Dramon's attack target to Gankumon X Antibody. However, Jesmon is unfazed by the fangs of the deadly dragon closing in on its master and murmurs, Please leave the rest to me. Master, blast Digivolve. What? Ignoring the dragon looming over it, Gankumon X Antibody raises its fist to the heavens, splitting the clouds and bringing down light that converges upon Jesmon. Once the light dissipates, standing there is a Knight of Salvation, clad in red armour. Jesmon digivolves into Jesmon GX Ace! Heavy Metal Dramon? Don't you think that's kind of like a tongue twister? GX Ace, Yuki, are you really going to your university classes? Come on, that's not relevant here. Let's save the silly talk for later. It's coming. At Heavy Metal Dramon's words, Yuki turns her attention to Jesmon GX Ace. She's about to feel the force of its when digivolving effect. When digivolving, once per turn, by placing one Royal Knight trait card from your hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. I place Jess X Antibody as a Digivolution card and destroy your Heavy Metal Dramon Ace. Gah, overflow! The memory gauge in Yuki's hand heats way up, and an ominous popping sound is heard. She stares bitterly at the gauge, which has now tipped heavily towards the other side. After everything resolved, Heavy Metal Dramon deletes Gankumon X Antibody with its attack, and the piercing effect breaks all the security on Jesmon's side. Even of its final moments before destruction, the Holy Knight gazed at its apprentice as if it had accomplished what it had to do. Okay, it's my turn next. Jesmon speaks to Yuki in a cool tone. She only has one card in her hand, far too little to oppose Jesmon GX Ace with its immense aura. I'm just going to say this, but with my turn that's about to start now, all of your Digimon will be destroyed. There is no room for reversal, so, in the calmest tone, Jesmon spells out the words as if testing them. Now is the time to surrender, you and your partner. If you surrender and apologise for your callousness in entering here, your life may be spared. Ugh. It's simple, just accept it. Admit that you were defeated by the bond we Digimon cultivated on our own. Even with the powerful card I gifted you, you still stood no chance. Just admit that even without humans, the possibilities for Digimon will continue expanding. Jesmon heartlessly announces, You think we should be friends, but this world is not even your own. You should apologise for your arrogance and run away with your tail between your legs. That's... Yuki! Heavy Metal Dramon raises its voice. Don't listen to a word of it! But... Digimon are said to be creatures that came from another world. Cool Boy and the others are fighting to save those Digimon. Humans offer their support, but it's coming from another world. They alone have the ability to escape the lacuna by logging out. And yet, here's a human saying outrageous things like, I want to be friends with all of you. Arcmon's strength was the real deal. If it can save Digimon without humans, maybe it's okay to leave it up to them. That's what runs through her mind, but... That's right, the stupid prize pupil strength is the real deal, but yours is too, Yuki. Heavy Metal Dramon. Is it arrogant for humans to want to be friends with Digimon? Maybe, but you weren't like that, Yuki. Itmon remembers. There was not the slightest difference in her eyes when she first reached out to it or when she boldly approached the other debuggers. You want to be friends with Digimon? Everyone. Human, Digimon, nothing more, am I right? Yeah, you're right. That's right. So prove it, Yuki. The bond between Digimon and Digimon, the bond between Digimon and humans. Prove that it's not one bit different. Yuki's partner lets out a discordant heavy metal shout. This should be a place of solace, but she can't help but find it endearing. Thanks, Heavy Metal Dramon. Leave it to me. My partner is the coolest. We're not apologising now. We'll apologise when all this is over and they understand our side of the story. Yuki thought she saw Jesmon smile slightly at her answer. If so, then endure the attack. Show me what you and that single card are capable of. Jesmon GX Ace attacks Orochimon. With its when attacking effect, it places Gankumon X Antibody from the trash as its bottom Digivolution card to delete Heavy Metal Dramon. I didn't think you were so foolish. You know attacking will lead to defeat. In that instant, Jesmon GX Ace hears a voice in its ear. You may be right, but I don't mind. I thought you hated humans. What's gotten into you? Maybe it's the history etched into Jesmon's data. When I see someone so arrogant that they might overturn everything, I want to believe that maybe this time, just maybe. With a small murmur, Jesmon GX Ace activates another when attacking effect. It unsuspends, and for every 2 Royal Knight trait cards in its Digivolution cards, it trashes one of Yuki's security cards. That's it! Counter timing! The single card in Yuki's hand shines. I blast Digivolve Orochimon to Heavy Metal Dramon Ace! That's what you are holding? Incredible. However, my DP is higher, so unless you have another move, I'll prevail. Dummy, we know that! Heavy Metal Dramon responds to Jesmon GX's doubts. You think we're stupid enough to fight the prize pupil head-on? Heavy Metal Dramon Ace's when Digivolving effect calls forth Punkmon. Punkmon's on-play effect gives its blocker and retaliation. Now block! With Punkmon's deletion, Jesmon GX falls to the ground. Yuki's hand is now empty, allowing her to pump her fist into the air. It's a definite win for Itmon and me. Yuki's hair is blown wildly by the dragon's victorious roar. So, you all came from another game? Not from here nor in the digital world? Hakumon's story was unbelievable to Yuki. Hakumon was originally in a game world different from Digimon Liberator. Even there, humans sometimes visited, and their leader was a man called Coolboy. Coolboy claimed he was the creator of the game world, and had made it to protect Digimon who strayed from the digital world. Attracted by his personality, Hakumon and others came to trust humans. However, the plan to return the Digimon to their original world ran into challenges, and Coolboy's time visiting that world gradually dwindled. In the world we were in, there was a beast Digimon, a type never before seen in the records of the digital world. It was gentle though, and everyone loved it. But one day it was attacked by a mysterious force. They were led by a mechanical Digimon I'd never seen before. I fought to protect the beast Digimon, and drove them away. You won? That seemed like a losing situation for sure. I'm a royal knight, you know. But the battle was so fierce that my Oz generics went out of control, and I ended up in another world. And, upon arriving in Lacuna, Hakumon was shocked to learn that Coolboy had been creating this even larger game, following the same philosophy. I should have gone to the central office right then and there to question him. There could have been a number of reasons. Maybe he needed to protect more Digimon, or maybe he was planning to move to Lacuna eventually. However, Hakumon could not rule out the worst possibility. Is it possible that Coolboy launched a new game and sent enemies to destroy that world, as if it was no longer needed? Yes, so I decided to protect Digimon in my own way, using this cluster of bug data, that happens to be amenable to Digimon. Ah. What do you think? Would Coolboy do something like that? No, I can't see that at all. Right. Hakumon breathes a sigh of relief and bows its head again. I apologise. I ended up venting my frustration on both of you, all without attempting to reach a mutual understanding. Yeah, that much is fine. You're darn right. Now bow down and apologise, muttered Itmon, its mouth covered by a giggling Yuki. I lost. I'll leave it to you to decide what becomes of me. I don't care about myself. But these Digimon here are the ones I protected in Lacuna. Please don't allow them to come to harm. What do you mean, what becomes of you? Aren't you going to report me? Yuki thinks a moment, then says matter-of-factly, Nope. Hakumon's mouth drops open in shock. What? Reporting that stuff is my job, but I've decided against it. That's that. Yuki's the type, so give up. Itmon sighs and pokes Hakumon with its elbow. If one day you feel able to trust Coolboy and other humans, come visit us. Thank you. Hakumon bows deeply, and Yuki smiled. Oh, but is it okay if we come to play from time to time? That's... Certainly you may. Spurred on by her smile, Hakumon smiles too. Itmon, sitting on a stump, leaning against Yuki's back, mutters, It's looking like you may actually become friends with all Digimon. Huh? Did you say something, Itmon? I didn't say anything. Really? Yuki laughs at her partner's stubbornness and catches a cherry blossom in her palm. Just then, Yuki's D-storage rings out. It's an emergency summons for the debugging team. Digimon Liberator faces its biggest crisis as an army of Imperial Dramon launches an attack on Lacuna. Yuki, this is... Yeah, let's go. Hakumon. We'll be fine. Our sanctuary is safe, and we can protect any wild Digimon in danger as well. So go on. Go save the world. At those words, Yuki and Itmon nodded each other, determined. To be continued. And that is it for Debug Chapter 2. Chapter 2. We're going back in time. Chapter 8, Part 2. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, this is the last of this batch. The next batch is probably late May, so we'll continue on from there. So thank you so much for listening. You can contact me and stay updated. You can leave a comment on this episode on YouTube to join the conversation. For a full list of ways to find out about the podcast across the internet, such as YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, head over to Linktree, which is linktr.ee/LostinTranslationmon. If you enjoy the podcast or videos or even my silly little posts online, you can show your support by signing up on Patreon and get some cool rewards and help me hit some milestones. Thank you to my current supporters on Patreon, Stephen Reeves, who's 164 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter at Chisai26, Neobu, who says you can follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Lizmet, who is Lekmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Magnus, Lucas, Jason105, Patrick, Jason, Shelby, Digital Hazard, who's on Twitch at The Digital Hazard, Droppymon, Vmon Tamer, Kasai, Big Bad Beetleborg, Bent Archer, and Cappy. You can also make a donation on PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Airdramon. You can also donate to me on my Coffee account, which is ko-fi.com/Airdra. And again, thank you so much for listening. If you are watching/listening on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And of course, I will see you on the next one. Bye!